Hello, everyone. I am Elena Valdez, and I am here to do the reading for the parents and the guardians of the Capricorn child. So, welcome, everyone. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate that. And just a quick reminder that my readings are not gender specific. You will hear me say he, she, they sporadically. However, please make sure to modify and whatever best resonates for your household, okay? And also, I want to acknowledge that I am aware that there are different age ranges here that you're here for. So some of you are here for itty bitty little ones, others of you are here for teens, and others of you for ages in between. So you're all welcome. Beautiful. Okay. So the way this works, our first three cards here are from the perspective of your Capricorn child. And then we'll end with the final advice card for you, the parent, from Spirit. And sometimes this advice card is directly related to the conflict that your child is having in the month of March. And other times it's just a whole other separate message for you, the parent. So let's see how this unfolds. So the first placement here tells us what your little Capricorn is experiencing during the month of March. And it looks like your little one is very curious here in March about potentially other cultures and probably a little fascinated with other countries and whatnot. The Two of Wands is a beautiful card because what it says is that your child has come into an awareness that there's so much more out there than what he or she is familiar with. And this could be due to classmates or peers, new friends, neighbors that are exposing your little one to, things that are different. It doesn't necessarily have to be other cultures and countries and languages. It can also be just different ways of being. For example, realizing that, family units don't always have a mother and a father, that some have two fathers and others have two mothers and others have one single parent and what have you. And so this is really a card of exploration. It's a card of wondering and wanting to learn more about what's different out there in the world. It's a very curious card. It's actually a fun card. I very much like it. It means that you're probably getting random questions at the dinner table that you've never gotten before. And you'll notice that the questions you start getting and the curiosity, they're kind of out of nowhere. It's almost as if your child listened to a documentary or heard somebody talking about something completely out of left field that's not something familiar at your everyday dinner table, if you will. Okay, so let's move on to the challenge and the conflict that your little one may be going through during the month of March. And we've got the Hermit. Yeah, okay. So it looks like your child really wants to get out there and explore and have adventure. However, more than likely, the circumstances as we know them right now to be with this pandemic is making your little one have to be a little hermit. And perhaps some of you have only children also that maybe don't have other kiddos to play with or a sibling or what have you. And so that's kind of what's the conflict here, because your child wants to be here, your child wants to be out there, wants to know what's the world is so big, and she knows it and she just wants to be out there. Meanwhile, the circumstances really have him in this energy, right? I hope you can see that. It's getting kind of dark here. So yeah, so there can be a little sadness that comes with this, but the flip side or positive side of this is that there's a lot of inner growing that's taking place. There's a lot of inner knowledge taking place, albeit a bit lonely perhaps. Okay, so let's see. And both of them are actually very lonely cards in the sense, not lonely, but just alone cards where they're having to explore and do the work on their own. Okay, so this placement here will tell us what your child needs most from you, the parent, during the month of March. And this card here, something to keep in mind is it's what your child needs, not necessarily what they want. So just keep that in mind. The Hierophant. Yeah, and the Hierophant is about, a higher authority. It's about, in traditional astrology, traditional tarot, it's about like the guru and the teachers and the masters and whatnot. And here it looks like your child is in need of a teacher. Your child wants to learn these things, and perhaps you can step up as the traditional teacher, because a lot of you are actually homeschooling, right? So perhaps your little one has hit a wall and that they want more. They want to learn more. They're hungry for more. And so what your little guy needs from you is to facilitate or bring in the tutors and the teachers that can help fill in that gap of all that curiosity and questions that your little one has currently. And this can take the place of an actual person, an actual tutor. It can be you taking your child out on adventure to different places that are different depending on the questions that all of a sudden she's bringing up, right? But it can also be books that you can gather, to help with the topics that your little one is bringing up. It can also be connecting with others who may have more knowledge, or connecting your little one with someone who may know the information that he or she is seeking. It's also about bringing in other kiddos that may be different and diverse from your little one. This can also be documentaries, shows, what have you, any place, person, or any way that you can gather information, new information for your little one to get into. Okay, because there could be a little bit of boredom happening here if your little one is not mentally stimulated or intellectually stimulated. So that's coming in very, very clearly here. You may just have a little Capricorn that's growing up so quickly and just very intelligent and is really grasping information very well and wants more. Right? So like the more he learns, the more he wants to learn. And that's beautiful. That's really great. This is a very mature energy to need and want. So very nice. Okay, so let's see what advice Spirit has for you, the parent. You got the World. Yes. So it's quite literally, this can quite literally mean to travel the world. Now, obviously, dear parent, we're in the middle of a pandemic, right? So depending on where you live in the world, you may or may not be able to travel, right? Or perhaps you are able to travel, but close distances. But in any case, it's kind of funny. Like your little one wants to explore. We're talking about, here he's holding a little globe looking out and wondering what else is out there. And here you get the world. Okay? And quite literally, this can be about traveling, getting out there, getting to know other cultures. So the advice here is to facilitate this again and to help your child get out there and explore literally the world. If you're looking for timing for whatever reason, this can also indicate a year time frame, but I don't think that that's something that, or maybe you are questioning that. That may be just for a handful of you. Yeah, so this is a very simple read. This is probably my easiest read in terms of just straightforwardness for March. So Capricorn is just in that expansion phase right now, and you are very much going to be the facilitator, inspiration, encourager here to make that happen. You're going to be the one to fuel this in whatever way possible. It can be as simple as maybe watching movies and shows that are from other parts of the world, or dubbed into different languages or whatnot. Or maybe you and your child can learn a different language together. But in any case, it's about getting out there, exploring, and growing together. So I'm going to pull one more card. This is not a tarot card, and this is not oracle. It's just a sweet deck. And I will pull a card, and this is the message here. This is basically what your family needs to do together as a family unit, or advice as to what you should be doing with your family. This is separate from your Capricorn child and your advice. This is for your entire family. So we're asking the cards, and we're asking Spirit, what should your family do together? Very beautiful. Oh my gosh, this is so stunning. Look at this. So this is the advice or the nudge from Spirit of what you and your family should be doing together as a family unit. And this is called the gift. And this is so stunning. I mean, look how beautiful this is. And it quite literally can be about getting together, and perhaps you can gift your family a trip. There's an emphasis here. There is definitely water, obviously, right? But the way I'm seeing this is that it's about traveling somewhere, potentially abroad, near water. But it's also about gifting knowledge to one another. And that's what I'm feeling here. I'm feeling this could be as simple as having like a communing with the family, bringing everyone together after dinner or before dinner, and maybe having a conversation with all the members of your household to see, well, if we were to travel, where would you want to go? And maybe it's not something that you're able to do right away, but you may potentially start planning together and getting excited about it as a family. And maybe that's what the 1 year reference is here, to think about it in terms of planning a year ahead. And that's the gift that you can give one another as a family unit, planning together to travel somewhere as a family. This is beautiful. Yeah, I think your entire family is just itching to get away. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. I hope this was helpful to someone, and hope to see you back here in April. Thank you. Bye.